Hello children, now we are going to study what happened when finally South Africa got its freedom from the white oppressors. Okay, so in the previous video we had seen that on 26th April 1994 Africa got its freedom, okay, and it hoisted its the flag, the new national flag of the Republic of South Africa. Okay, further, the apartheid government came to an end, giving way to the formation of a multi-party and multiracial government. So as soon as apartheid government came to an end, its era was ended. After that, new parties they started forming, not based on any one color, not based on any one party. So these parties were multi-parties and they were multi-racial government. Multi-racial governments, whites were included, blacks were included, coloreds were included. So all the people from all races and of all skin color, they were included in that government. So it is known as multi-racial and multi-party. Okay, after the end of apartheid government. But how was it possible? Wouldn't the blacks take revenge for the past injustice? So this is the question which arises in our mind as soon as the South Africans they got freedom from the white oppressors. They didn't have now they have got the chance to take the revenge on the whites. Did they do so? Okay, did they take the revenge on the past? So what was the scenario? Why they didn't do it? Okay, so actually they didn't take any kind of revenge on the white oppressors. Everything was going peaceful. How is it possible? For so many years blacks were under the control of whites, and these whites they tortured them. They didn't allow them to move anywhere freely. So how blacks they kept quiet after they got the freedom? This happened because of the one person, and that one person was Nelson Mandela. Okay, so Nelson Mandela, he appealed people, black people and the colored people, to keep quiet and to let go everything smoothly and peacefully. So what he said, the peaceful transition happened as Nelson Mandela insisted that his countrymen never give up on the belief on human goodness. So he appealed his countrymen not to lose their faith on human goodness. Color comes afterwards. But what we are first, we are human beings first. Our color doesn't matter how we are. Our attitude, our behavior, our way of behaving with others, our generosity, it defines how we are. Okay, so our belief on human goodness, it should not be shaken by behaving very bad in a bad way, how the white behaved with the blacks. So this was the thing which he insisted the black people to follow, and those black people they followed. Okay, accordingly the native Africans forgave their white rulers and built a new South Africa based on the equality of all races and genders. So this is how the South Africans they follow Nelson Mandela's appeal, okay, and they forgave their white rulers. And in the first picture you can see white rulers are also there, and black natives were also there, are also there. So both of them are sitting together, and blacks they easily forgave the white rulers. And this is how New South Africa was formed, based on the equality of all races and all genders. White rulers who have ruled oppressively for several decades now sat across the native Africans and drew a constitution based on universal values that promoted democracy, social justice and human rights. So this was the scene after Nelson Mandela's appeal. So white rulers, till that time, white rulers they were oppressively ruling the blacks. But what happened now? Suddenly white rulers they have to sit besides the black people, and they had to at that time design the constitution for the newborn South Africa. Okay, and that too, the constitution was based on the universal values values which were universally adopted, values with not only one perspective from the white's perspective, but the values which were worldwide accepted. Social justice. Okay, social justice means everyone are equal in the society, and human rights. As a human being, we have rights. So those rights were included in the constitution. Further, so what do you think? This constitution was set up in one day? Okay, no, actually it took 2 years for the South Africans. South Africans means whites and blacks, both of them, they sat together, and after several discussions and debates, they came out with one of the finest constitutions in the world. That was the Constitution of South Africa. In this image, you can see Nelson Mandela is signing the new constitution in Sharpeville in December 1996. So Africa got freedom in 1994, and it signed, it accepted its own constitution in 1996. That means it took 2 years for both the parties, white party and black party, to discuss and to debate on the constitution. So, and finally they came out with the finest, world's finest constitution. Okay, further, the preamble of the Constitution of South Africa reads as follows. So what is the preamble? See, we also have our own preamble. Before the constitution, preamble is there, and we need to read the preamble. So South Africa, it had designed its preamble. So let us see what is there in the preamble, how they read it. We the people of South Africa. Remember, preamble always start with the words we the people of. Country's name comes afterwards. So who are we? We the people of which country? Okay, so we the people of South Africa recognize the injustice of the past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity. So this is the preamble of South Africa. So further, South African Constitution inspired democracies all over the world. The state, until recently denounced the most undemocratic, was now seen as a model of democracy. So till this time, until the constitution was made, until the South Africa got the freedom, the state of South Africa was denounced all over the world. South Africa was seen as the most undemocratic country in the world. But as soon as it got freedom, it designed its own constitution. It became the model as an example of democracy in the world. This was made possible by the determination and humanity of South African people, who declared that they would never allow a repetition of their racist, brutal and repressive past, and would work towards a progressive change truly shared by all its people, regardless of their race and gender. So this all happened because of the determination, okay, determination, their hard work, okay, and humanity, belief in being human, okay, believe in humanity of the South African people. And they declared that they would never allow a repetition of their racist, okay, brutal and repressive past, and they would always work towards a progressive change, and they would truly share by all its people, regardless of their race and gender. So this was their policy. They stuck to their words. Then they never became brutal as the white they did. These black people of South Africa, they always believed in good in humanity, always in goodness, okay, equality, social justice. They believed in this, and so Africa and its democracy and its constitution became the finest in the world. So the South Africans called themselves as a rainbow nation because after apartheid ended, they accommodated people of all colors in the fold. So what happened? South Africa, they got united. whites also were accommodated, blacks were also accommodated, colored people were also accommodated. So these South Africans, they called themselves as a rainbow nation. Colorful means people of all colors were included in that fold, so they called themselves rainbow color, because after apartheid ended, they accommodated people of all colors in the fold. So we will follow the example of South Africa to understand why we need a constitution and the various functions of the constitution. So this was the example of South Africa which we studied, and so some more examples are also there related to the same country, and through those examples we are going to study why we need a constitution. Do we need a constitution? Yes, a big yes, we need a constitution. And we are also going to study through the example of South Africa's constitution what are the various functions of constitution. Okay, as we have seen earlier, the white oppressor and the black majority of South Africa together formed a constitution. Both of them, they sat together for 2 years and they formed a constitution. This was not an easy task, as the black majority wanted to safeguard their interest and wanted substantial social and economic rights, whereas the whites minority wanted to protect its privileges and property. The blacks were also keen on ensuring that the democratic principles of majority were not compromised. So in those 2 years before the forming of constitution, in the process of forming of constitution, these two parties, blacks and whites, they were very keen in ensuring their own rights, blacks' rights and whites' rights. Okay, so both of them were ensuring that none of their rights are compromised. Not a single right of both the people should not get compromised in the formation of constitution. So that was not an easy task. That was a difficult task to form constitution. Okay, finally, the blacks and whites reached a compromise where they took care of the demands and requirements of both the parties. So without getting aggressive, without fighting, without having any kind of oppressive behavior against each other, both these parties for 2 years, they sat together and they come to a certain point where they compromise. Okay, not yours, not mine, we should compromise, like that. So they compromised where they took care of the demands and requirements of both the parties. Blacks, they took care of the whites' demands and their requirements. Whites, on the other hand, they also took care of the demands and requirements of the blacks. So both of them took care of each other's demands and requirements. Okay, the only way to ensure implementation of this agreement was to make some rules which everyone would abide by. So what to do? Both the parties were having their own demands and their requirements. Okay, and both of them were very eager to have them in the constitution. So what they should do, that both the people, both the parties people, they should be abide by. So there should be some rules. So this set of rules, basic rules that we call is constitution. So what is a constitution? A constitution is a set of rules, basic rules, that everyone in the country, whether that person is poor, whether that person is rich, okay, of any religion, of any caste, should be abide by. Everyone is supposed to follow the rule and regulations which are there in the constitution. So this is what constitution is. A constitution is the supreme law accepted by all the people of a country. Please note it. What is a constitution? Above all the rules and regulations in the country, the constitution is over here. Other sets rules are over here, or the other things comes in the minority. But the supreme law is the constitution, and it is accepted by all the people of a country, whether those people belong to any country, South Africa, America, then maybe India, no, not maybe, surely India, we have our own constitution, and we strictly follow the rules and regulations which are there written in the constitution. So this is what the constitution is. Okay, there are some more details we are going to study. Okay, and then we'll jump on our own constitution. Till this time we studied the constitution of South Africa, how it came into being, how it became freedom, how it formed its constitution, how it became the democratic country. Okay, so this is what the constitution is. Please watch this video, give your comment in the comment box, thumbs up in the comment box, and please go through the part in the chapter in the textbook which you have dealt in this video just now. Okay, thank you.